Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Married Now Widowed. We're your hosts. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Nadine, and this podcast is about navigating life after loss through unfiltered conversations.
Hello everyone.
Hello, welcome back.
We're back. I'm going to jump straight into it. This is an episode I'm very passionate about.
You are passionate about
I really
this.
am.
You've been passionate about this for quite a while.
Yeah, because I feel it in my everyday life.
And I think it's extremely relatable to a lot of people.
Yeah, it would be. And
yeah.
Okay, so let's disclose the topic. It's about, we call it the widow cloud.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if that's made up. Probably is.
It is made up. We literally just made it up
the widow
2
cloud.
seconds ago.
That's our thing. That's what we're calling it. I will explain it, but I just want to say I do think that it is more prevalent for those who are further along in their journey.
Yes.
Correct.
Early on. Yeah, that's right.
So
and also the ones that are quite early on, they will feel this at some point.
Absolutely.
Later on.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so what is the widow cloud? So
talk to
me, I can't describe it well, but it is a constant feeling that you have of a mixture of maybe a little bit of negativity, a little bit of sadness, a little bit of disappointment. And it comes around more so when something good is happening in your life or you're trying to move forward with your life in multiple aspects, right? So, for example, let's just say you are buying a new house, right? Buying a new house is A, an achievement, B, something exciting, a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a widow, when you are a little bit ahead in your journey, when you feel like something's really exciting, and it might be, and you might feel the feeling of being excited, there's always something over you that dampens whatever is going on.
The cloud. That's
what the cloud is. It's something that I feel like after you lose someone after you lose your partner, and obviously when you're in a marriage or a long-term relationship, you do have hopes, dreams and plans for your future, right? And then when you have to start navigating your future alone and you make new choices and new decisions, it's just an energy that I feel that you just carry.
Yep.
And I think that sometimes I just feel like it's really heavy. And I don't know if it gets lighter as the years go on. I assume it does.
I think it will.
But I feel like right now I'm nearly at the 3-year mark and it is probably the most heavy it's ever been because I am making new decisions and new changes in my life, and my life is progressing in a way that it never has in the last 3 years, and it's moving into a really new direction. And I'm excited about the things that are currently in my life, and looking into my future excites me. But I feel like no matter what, it's just a cloud that follows me and that is so heavy. And I knew it was always there because I've always felt it when I was doing new things. But I really realised that it was there the other day when I called my sister-in-law about something, and after the conversation, I was telling her about a new direction that my life was going in, right? And when I finished the conversation, I just started bawling my eyes out.
I remember that.
Because like, as much as what I was talking to her about was like such a happy thing for me, such a happy time, such an exciting change in my life, it's always surrounded by this thing, you know?
Yep.
And it's overwhelming because sometimes you just want to be excited about something without any other emotions attached to it.
So can we just go into it a little bit more? When you feel this negativity, where do you think it's coming from? Is it because I know this, but I think I just want everybody to understand. because it's your husband died and you are like you were married to Muhammad, and therefore you trying to progress in your life is
always attached to being that person's wife. Yeah. Which is not a bad thing. However, I feel like other people make it a negative thing for you, right? So when I'm doing something in my head, before I announce it to family or friends, for instance, I do feel the cloud, but it's not so heavy. I definitely feel the cloud and I know it's there, and it does put a damper on anything.
Do you feel the cloud because you feel guilty?
No, actually, because I can't help what happened and there's nothing I could do about it. Number one reason I don't feel guilty. And the second reason I don't feel guilty is because I'm actually not doing anything wrong.
No, you're not.
Any decision that I make, most decisions that I make, unless I was making a really crazy decision with my son, etc., is not the wrong decision. There's not really a right or wrong, I think, when it comes to this time in a widow's journey, right? So I don't have guilt. It's not guilt at all. Sometimes I do feel sadness because A, I feel sad that my husband has to miss out on milestones in my life and in his son's life. And B, I feel sad because obviously I had a future plan with him, and I had an idea of what my life was going to look like moving forward. So when I have to obviously pivot and change that, it is a little sad because not what I thought it would be. Now you have to pivot, you have to make new plans, and you just have to, it's a new chapter. So sometimes I do feel that sadness, but it's definitely not guilt. My cloud comes from those two things, changing my future plans and what he could have seen, with his son, etc., that he has missed out on. But I think the cloud really comes from other people. And for example, I'll give an example. This is not my example, but this is what I think in my head. Let's say I got engaged, right? Super great. You meet the love of your life, or let's just pretend it's me, right? I meet the love of my life. I get engaged, right? Amazing. In that moment, I'm over the moon. I've met the love of my life. I'm getting engaged. Life is looking up. I'm moving forward.
Definitely.
Things are okay, finally, right? Now, a normal person would be thrilled to call their family and friends and tell everyone about it and post it on social media and, oh my gosh, like best thing ever.
Yeah.
A widow, there are so many feelings that are attached to something that should be one of the happiest moments in your life, right? There's, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? How will I tell his family? How will people perceive it on social media? Should I show happiness? Should I not say anything? How will my own family and friends? But it's just, I really can't describe it in any other way.
Can I say something? One word. Judgment.
Of course.
That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
As widows, we are still worried about people judging us.
Absolutely.
3 years on. 4 years on.
Yeah.
Why are we still worried about people judging us?
You know what?
And can I, sorry to cut you off, but you are one person in my life that, like, I really admire the way you do your life. And I'll tell you why. Because I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
There might be certain things that you do that you don't give a fuck about judgment. You don't give a fuck about what people say.
Yeah.
You just, it's my life and this is how I want to live it, right? I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But your attitude towards life versus I'm like, I would be a little bit scared or I would be a little bit more reserved or do you know what I mean?
Totally.
So like I admire you for that because at the end of the day, you are only living your life for yourself.
Yeah.
You aren't living your life for other people.
Yeah.
Right? And especially like being a widow.
Yeah.
What you've gone through one of the most hardest times in your life. You lost your husband. why should you care about what other people think?
Yeah.
You should continue to live your life the way you want to live your life. So for me, I just find like that conversation that we had the other day, like I really, really got upset for you because from what I know, like what I know about you is you've been that person. You've been that strong person that is, you know, you're like, not that you don't care about other people's feelings. It's just your feelings come first.
Yeah.
Your life comes first.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
If you're not hurting anybody,
Yeah.
you're not doing anything malicious to anybody,
Yeah.
you're just choosing to live your life for you and your child.
Yeah.
Why should you care about what other people think, right?
Yeah.
But then I got really sad for you because I felt, you know, you were really upset.
Yeah.
And that's not not, you know, who I know you to be.
Yeah.
How I know you to be is,
Yeah.
again, not that you don't give a fuck about other people,
Yeah.
but it's just that you're not living your life for other people.
Yeah.
You're not hurting anyone. You're not affecting anyone. You're not harming anyone in any way.
Yeah.
So for you to live your life for yourself, that's such a, like, I can't tell you how amazing that is. And for me to see you live your life like that, it's so beautiful for me to watch because anybody would want to be, like, sometimes I think to myself, I wish I could have that attitude,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, I have come to a point where Mick passing away, I probably would have cared a lot more about a lot more things.
Yeah.
You know, since Mick passed, I think I have kind of gone
Yeah.
but not to the extent of like where you're at.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it literally comes down to judgment. You are worried that people are going to judge you because if you don't worry about the judgment from other people, you're not going to care.
You know what it is? So a few things on that. You know me, I am very like that. And don't get me wrong, I could be affected by someone's opinion, but I'll still do what I want to do. You know me. I'll always do what I want to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No doubt, right? But I think that it's not that... It's interesting. It's not that I care so much about people's opinions because at the end of the day, everyone has one, right? It doesn't matter what you do. Everyone's
Can I
gonna have
ask
an
you
opinion.
something? Let's just say there was somebody who is important in your life.
Yeah.
And you were giving you a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Okay. You would have told them that you met someone.
Yeah.
Okay. And their first reaction was, oh my God, I am so happy for you.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
How would you feel?
Amazing.
Okay. Versus, oh,
Of course.
how
Yeah.
long? Like,
Absolutely.
you know, when, and like,
But you know
just
what
very
it
more,
is for me? It's actually the exhaustion of having the
Explain yourself.
conversation, thinking about it in my mind. How is the conversation going to go down? What are they going to say? How are they going to feel? What are we going to do for me? It's actually being tired. It's genuinely not that I care. I can't say I care about people's opinions because I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. I would never, ever dare. So even if you were doing the most wild thing, right? If you're not harming yourself and you're not affecting me, like, fucking do you, man. It's not my life.
Yeah.
I don't have to be in your shoes. I don't know how you feel, whatever. So it's not so much that I care about their opinion or their judgment. It's just the fact that I get exhausted and I get overwhelmed because it's never just, let's say I got engaged. I didn't get engaged, guys, by the way. This is the only example that I can use, right?
Yeah.
If I got engaged, okay, the cloud and the exhaustion for me comes with that I can't just call you. I can call you, but let's just say someone else call you and be like, oh my God, look, show you a ring and la da da. Like
why?
every other normal person.
But why?
Right? Because there's so much anxiety around how do I say it? What do I say?
Because you're worried about people judging you. But if you got people's, it could be bigger in your head than what it actually is.
Yeah, with certain people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be bigger in your head than what it actually is. You could be like G'ing yourself up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In your own
But
mind.
I think I'm quite good at reading people.
No, you
I
are.
think I know.
You are.
Like,
but
know.
at the end of the day, we collectively will always be worried about what people think. once you rip that Band-Aid off and it's
But
done.
you know what? I don't even think it's that, babe. Genuinely. For me, I'm just like tired, to be honest, of having these people in my life, these certain people. I'm like, fuck off. I actually don't. Yeah, no, really. I'm not worried about what you're going to think or say because I don't give a fuck. But I'm tired of listening to it and it exhausts me.
So don't listen to it.
Well, I have to because I have to break certain news to certain people.
Tap out.
Well, they can fuck off. Really, I'm not in their life. These people are in my life. I've tapped out. I didn't get involved in anyone's lives, babe. Not, you know, my friends, babe. I love them to death. I'm very close with my friends, right? But if they're doing something, they're doing it, babe. Who am I? Who the fuck am I to? If you ask me for advice,
Yeah, you're going to give it to me.
I'm going to give it. And as a friend, yeah, I'm not a robot. I'll give you my opinion. Do with that what you fucking will.
Yeah.
I don't actually care. I wouldn't treat you differently. Stop being your friend.
No, of course not.
Make your
Mate,
life
let me
difficult.
tell you, you've done some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Here I am.
And he's solid as ever. Solid as ever, right?
Yeah.
Because I
No,
genuinely...
you're right. Like me, I would give you my opinion, but you do what you want with it at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Do I care about you? 1,000%.
100%.
Am I worried about you? 1,000%.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day,
yeah. And honestly, it's really black and white for me. If my friend is telling me something and it's not harming her, like really harming her or harming, you know, her child or harming me or someone I love or care about, I really don't care. And I don't mean harming as in you think you have a right to feel a certain way about a situation.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you don't. Your feelings are your problem. I've always said that, right? Your feelings are your own issues. They're not mine. I mean actually harming. Like, I don't know, you get with a guy that's physically abusive to your child. That shit is what I'm talking about. Proper harm.
Yeah.
That is when, yeah, I feel like I need to have an opinion. I will have an opinion. Yeah. But again, I'll do what I can. But at the end of the day, it's your life.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm not here to, and do you know what, right? One thing I think is wild, and maybe people that act like this can listen to this and become a little bit more self-aware. Imagine being that person that, for example, when I have good news in my life, you're the person that I think about and I'm like, fuck me. Oh God, what are they going to say now? Like imagine making someone feel that way. I would hope that nobody that I know that knows me ever feels like that about me. Like, oh, what's Kayla going to think? Or, oh, she's going to be, I'm not going to tell her. I would die if I made someone feel that way.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I feel like I relate so much to that meme about like that I'm on everyone's like close friends stories because I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, you're doing that crazy shit. Go for it. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. I'll just never be like that.
And I think like, you know, we do have a lot of support people that listen to our podcast.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important that like they understand that as a widow, coming to somebody and telling them such massive news or something exciting that's happening in their life. Yeah. If you have an opinion, keep it to your fucking self.
I agree.
Keep it to yourself because at the end of the day, like you said, if you're not harming anyone, you're not doing anything malicious to anyone, it's not harming anybody. If anything, it's in your life. It's your life.
That's right.
And, you know.
Absolutely. Of course.
You are choosing to be happy. Then get on the fucking train.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get on the train, fuck off.
Hop off. See you the fuck later. Like, and I hope that widows out there just keep going on that train and leave that person behind. Like, just keep going. Like, let them get the fuck off the train and keep heading to your destination because fuck them. Who cares? I was talking to someone the other night and this person has lost their partner quite a while ago, probably about 5 years ago. And the conversation was that she has a new boyfriend, a serious relationship that she's in now. And, you know, she was saying to me that her in-laws are going to be really upset over it, right? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, you know me, I get everyone's side of the story. Like, I get it, cool, whatever. And then, you know, I started talking about it with one of her friends. And I was like to them, you know what? Like, what's upsetting about it? What's really upsetting? Like, if you have to really analyze it, like, what is upsetting about that person doing something? Like, what they're not hurting. Okay, let's say we need to use examples to make it clear, right? Let's just say my son, God forbid, I'm going to say my daughter because I don't have one. It's easier to talk about. My daughter, God forbid, passes away, right? 3 years later, 4 years later, 6 years later, her husband meets someone, right? Bittersweet, definitely. But bittersweet, still sweet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still, you know, if he's a good guy and he's a good person, I don't want to see him miserable for the rest of his fucking life.
That's right.
Why would I ever want to see a person like that?
No, you want somebody to make him happy and you want him to live his life.
You do you. And I tried to really peel back the layers of that conversation and try and understand how her boyfriend's, her late boyfriend's family might be feeling, you know? And I was like, so what would I be upset about?
Maybe the family would be upset about losing the relationship with you because, you know, you're their sister, you're their daughter, you're their, you know what I mean? Whereas, and I'm not saying this is the right thing, I'm just peeling those layers back with you. Maybe a part of it would be that we've lost her. She was a part of our family.
Yeah.
Now she's a part of somebody else's family.
See, I think that's a really nice way of looking at things. I just don't think that's the case. I think if anything, I know, like you're so rainbow sunglasses. I feel like it's about
how could you remarry?
Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with losing that person. And you know what I also will say, right?
Okay, but you know what? I'd like these motherfuckers.
Yes.
Like, I'd like to know what they would do in our situation.
Oh, no. When they're in our shoes, it's a different story for them because they're an exception to the rule, always, right?
Oh,
of course. Don't be
okay.
silly, Nadine. God forbid there's one rule for everyone. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
You know, what you're saying, okay, let's just take that, right?
I don't think it's all of it. I think there is a little percentage of it.
But let's just say that, right? So I imagine myself, let's say I meet someone, okay, I have a life with them and I've still got my in-laws, right? I'm really close to my in-laws, love my in-laws to death, respect them. They are definitely, I would consider them my family.
Yeah,
totally
of course.
my family, right? Not even in-laws, they're just my family. My brother-in-law's like my brother, right? I meet someone, okay? I join their family too, right? Fine, whatever. For me personally, I would leave the ball in their court. If they feel a certain way and they change their relationship with me, I respect it. For me, why would my relationship with them change?
It wouldn't and it shouldn't. Especially if you've got children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's their family.
It's their blood.
So it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I think that people would be afraid that it would be changed.
Yeah.
Or they would be afraid that they might not see, you know, the children.
So you know what? Mature up and have the conversation.
Yes, I agree.
Have the conversation. Go to the person and say, hey, look, you know, I'm really happy for you. My only concern is that, you know, we might lose you. We might not see you. We might not, you know, things might be.
Please, we don't want anything to change. 100%.
Yeah, it's that
but
easy.
This takes me back to, and I've said this on previous episodes about my uncle's sister-in-law. So his brother passed away. She was married to him.
Yeah.
They had a son. He passed away from cancer. She remarried.
Yeah.
Had children with her new husband. He had children from a previous marriage. She's a part of the furniture in our house.
Yeah.
In like my family's house.
Yeah.
Like she's at every event.
Yeah.
She's like, she came to our charity event.
Yeah.
We're so close. Her brother-in-law is so close to her.
Yeah.
Like she was married to his brother.
And I would think that's
and it's
the
beautiful.
norm,
Yes.
but it's not. But I would assume that would be the norm, but it's really not.
Her husband comes and he hangs out and barbecues and eats and like it's normal.
I think that's beautiful.
Like one
and
big
so
happy
much
family.
Respect for that.
Yeah.
I love that. I think it's completely normal. And I think that, you know, that's what I think shows that true love for a person.
Yeah.
Because I always say that if you love someone and you love them, it has to be unconditional, right? So it has to be, even if it's not what you want or not how you feel or doesn't benefit you. If you love someone, you want what's good for them, what's going to benefit them.
But think about it like on the flip side.
Mm-hmm.
She is also making effort with her late husband's family.
100%.
What does that tell you about what she thinks of them?
That's right. Absolutely.
So if I was to move on with my life, move forward with my life, let's just say I meet someone and, you know, I get married and whatever, and I am choosing to keep a relationship with my late husband's family.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, I
Obviously,
agree.
I love you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I respect you.
100%.
You're still my family.
100%.
And I want my children to still be a part of, you know, the family and have a... Sorry, guys. And have a relationship with their family. Yeah, so what does that tell you about...
I do agree. But
you wanting to keep that relationship with them. Obviously, you value that and they're a big part of your life. They're so important to you. So... why can't people think about it like that?
Just common sense is not very common, love. That's what I've discovered.
Okay, but when you think about it.
Oh, I have thought about it many times.
You think about it.
You guys think about it. I have dissected this many times. You know me, babe. I love to see things from everyone's angle and I do give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
But this is the thing. I don't think people think of it like that. I don't think people think that if this person is choosing to continue the relationship with us, then obviously she values us in her life, in her child's life.
Yeah.
Obviously we're important to her. Obviously she wants to continue this because we're the family. We're her family too.
Let's go all the way back because this confuses me. It really confuses the fuck out of me. And maybe people that have said this to me in the past or don't understand this can actually DM us and explain it because I'd love to hear the other end of it, right? I get a lot of people shocked when I say that I see my in-laws every week,
same.
I don't know, if I answer the phone and I'm like, oh, sorry, it was my brother-in-law. And they're like, brother-in-law? I thought your husband passed away. What? It's still my brother-in-law. What do you mean? What do you think happens when someone dies? You just exile the whole family and you never speak to them again. It's the most strange thing. I don't get it. And I'm not saying it. I'm not hating on you guys if you've said this to me. That's fine. But I don't understand it. I understand. I do go to my in-laws every single week. Most people probably don't go every week, maybe every fortnight, every month. That's fine. I'm not talking about the frequency. It's the fact that
you still have a relationship with them.
That you're weird for thinking that I wouldn't, unless we hated each other, had a huge argument. There was something like that is different, right? But so I go from having a normal relationship with them to my husband dying and then the next day not talking to them ever again.
I think people do that.
But why? If you have a reason, it's different. Do you know what I'm saying? If there is an issue, if there's a fight, if there's like that's
but
different.
But sometimes it's a painful reminder for some people as well. You know that, right?
Yeah, I don't, but yeah,
like,
you're right.
For me, I remember, and I'll never forget this, when Mick passed away, all I wanted to do was be around my husband's family. Mm-hmm. That's all I wanted to do. That's where I found comfort.
Yeah.
Obviously my mum and my family as well. They were staying with me, but like just being around his family, I just wanted, I don't know, I just wanted to be around them. I think for some people, they can't be around their in-laws because it hurts them too much.
I totally understand that. I can so understand that. I don't personally feel that way, but I can see how someone else would. But I'm also not sure that cutting them out of your life because it's a painful reminder is a good enough reason. I think it's pretty unfair. But
It is
again, you
unfair.
do you.
Yeah.
Fucking do what you want to do. You know, I'm all for that. Your life, if that's too difficult for you, it's going to make your life hard, be my guest, cut them out. But I just feel like that's something I would think is harsh for the family.
Of course it is.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Different story if there's an actual issue.
Yeah,
That's
if they've
different. Cut
done
'em out.
something.
Fuck
We
them off.
have heaps of DMs where
100%.
people
But we
tell us
get the
they've had
craziest
issues with their
stories,
in-laws.
And in-laws are evil, right?
Yeah.
And you guys, like, the widows or they're also evil back. Like, people are both evil on both sides. That I understand. But it's just so bizarre when people think that I would go from having normal relationship with these people to then never speaking to them again because my husband died.
Yeah.
For me, I absolutely have in-laws.
Yeah.
I 1,000,000,000% do. They're my
Of
in-laws.
course.
Like, that's
They're your family.
absolutely,
They're your family.
100%.
Yeah, I'm with
so
you.
sometimes, sometimes
I have the best relationship
Yeah.
with my in-laws.
Yeah.
So just a couple of weeks ago, I went away with all of Mick's cousins.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Normal.
Normal,
Yeah,
so
I know,
normal.
I
Like,
know.
I do things, and you do too. We do things as if they were still alive. It's like if Mick's cousins invited me to go away when he was alive, why wouldn't I go if he's passed away?
Yeah. When nothing else has changed. They haven't done anything to you.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? That's my whole thing with that.
Of course not.
But anyway, back to the cloud theory, because we've strayed as usual. I just think it's an important made-up theory to highlight because I feel like a lot of widows
It's not
would
made
feel
up.
this way.
It's
well,
a
our
thing. It's a
made-up
fact.
like cloud theory.
It's a fact, though. Most widows,
Yeah, I feel like
will
they
feel
would.
that way.
They would.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, put it this way. Again, I'll give a hypothetical. If I moved forward in my life, I'd probably be feeling the same way. If I, chose to do something that was different to what we had planned together, I would also feel that
That's
way.
exactly right.
Everybody would. Every widow, I think, would feel that way.
And I just think that it's unfortunate and I don't like to, I mean, you can be the judge of this. I don't feel like I'm a person that feels sorry for myself at all, except for when it comes to this.
Yeah.
This, I feel shit-goed, babe.
Yeah.
Like, this is one thing in my life where I'm like, I fucking feel sorry for myself.
So someone said to me once, don't let the title of being a widow define who you are as a person.
Too late.
Unfortunately,
Way too late.
I tried to resonate with that as much as I could, but the facts are the facts.
100%.
At the end of the day,
100%.
you are a widow.
Yeah.
And
Of
for
course you
those
are.
who, walk around saying that,
Yeah.
I take my hat off to them.
Yeah.
Because if you
Agree,
can,
yeah. Good for
walk
you.
around going, I'm not going to
wish.
let being a
Yeah.
widow define
Yeah.
who I am as a person.
Yeah.
No problem. But then when it comes to the widow cloud, you can't.
It's
You
not
can't.
something that you can escape. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
You're not
That's
escaping
exactly
it.
right.
You're going to go through it, like right through it, and it's going to suck and it's going to be horrible and you're going to feel sorry for yourself and you're going to think.
But you have a right to feel sorry
No,
for
I
yourself.
agree. I totally
in
agree.
this, during this time.
100%. But I just feel like it's like I have no other word, but it's just shit. It's just really shitty.
Yeah.
It's really shitty. There's a damper on everything. Everything is always related back to
Being a
having
widow.
lost your husband and being a widow. Always, everything you do. Everything's always, that face.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's people
It's
judging you.
never just happy anymore like it would be pre
Yeah.
losing someone close. So I don't know. It's really hard. But if there's widows out there that are going through that or feeling some type of energy, like a negative vibe, it's the widow cloud, guys.
Yeah, it
follows you everywhere,
definitely.
and it's heavy.
But I also think, you know, especially for, you know, the widows that are, you know, fresh, right, into their grief journey.
Yeah.
And for you as well, and for all the widows out there and widowers out there who are feeling this way, I think that once you rip that Band-Aid off, you'll need to go through it. It is what it is at the end of the day. To get to that end of that tunnel, you got to go through the process.
Absolutely.
Right? Like you can't. You're not going to wake up and it's just going to be, you've just got to go through it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right?
You do.
And you can feel
suck.
It will suck, of course. And you can go through whatever emotion you need to go through to get out the other end.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything wrong. You're not, at the end of the day, your feelings are extremely validated.
Of course they are.
They
Absolutely.
are so valid. But once you rip that Band-Aid off and you go through that, and I think once you go through it the first time, it will get easier every time something happens in your life, something exciting happens in your life. It will get easier.
I totally agree. And I think it's important not to confuse the widow cloud with thinking that you're doing something wrong or feeling guilty about any of your actions, because 9 times out of 10 you're not, but you will feel that way. And I don't know, maybe you do feel like that forever. Maybe the extent of the weight of the widow cloud lessens over time, over years though. It's going to take years. But I think to a certain degree you'll feel like that forever. Yeah. And that's the part where I'm like, where I feel sorry for myself. I'm like, wow, the rest of my life living with this, it's heavy and it is heavy. Easy. Yeah. It is not easy.
Like, but I think it will get easier.
No, I think it definitely does get easier. It's funny, right? I can really say, and maybe it has to do with now I'm making different decisions in my life and things are changing in my life. I've only felt it recently.
Yeah, you have.
Really bad. In the last, just now, the last few months.
Yeah.
Before that, I felt that weight, but not the way I do now. No. So I think it comes at a later time.
And I think I said that to you on the phone when we were talking about it. I said to you, why didn't you feel this, you know,
previously? Yeah. That's exactly right. With other decisions that I made. Yeah. It's different. It's very different. I just feel like it comes later.
Yeah.
Comes later. So.
Yeah.
That's the widow cloud in our opinion, guys.
I'd love to hear your guys' opinion.
Definitely.
And if you
felt it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Well, we hope you enjoyed that episode. If you're sitting here watching this, it takes 2 seconds to click the subscribe button. And the best part is it's free and it supports us so we can continue to make these videos for you. So please click subscribe and you can find us on all platforms at Married Now Widowed. And if you are grieving or you are a support person for someone who's grieving, please join our Facebook group at Married Now Widowed, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.